welcome back to the shop. We are on day 2 of a workshop right now, and student William here is working on kerfing. You can see all these beautiful orange clamps. William has actually decided to use only the orange clamps, although we have a variety of colors here. So these are specially made clamps that I've cut the rod off of the threaded portion here to allow them to fit, and dip them in Plastidip. And I find that these work quite a bit better than the old standard of clothespins wrapped in rubber bands, although those exist for a reason. They're certainly more attainable. And so let's take a look at what William is actually doing here. So he has this manual disc sander, which is actually a new item in the shop here. It actually comes from the picture framing industry. You can see the product name right there. And it's quite expensive, but it's actually great for handwork like this. So what he's doing is fitting these individual segments between the braces. This is a particular way of doing kerfing that I do here, which involves the side braces going all the way up to the soundboard surface and to the back surface. So connecting all the way across, which simply means that instead of running one long strip of kerfing from block to block, we are fitting each kerfing piece in a sort of tedious fashion between each brace. Now, why do I do this? Simply because we get better structure on the sides if the side braces actually run from end to end like that. It's a better fit. Alright, so now he's checking that fit, and he's probably going to adjust that on the wheel there.
So close.
Okay. And one other thing that William is doing here, which actually he brought up, you got it from a Robert O'Brien video, correct?
Yes.
So he's been putting a little spritz, well, actually not a spritz because he's not spraying it. He's been lightly dabbing the outside surface of the kerfing before he installs it with water. The water moistens up that outside surface, makes it a little more pliable, and there's less of a chance of the kerfing snapping, as it's so apt to do when you press it into place. And it's been working beautifully like that. So now he's spreading the glue. He's got a really awesome Star Wars Colorado shirt, by the way. I'm a fan of both of those things myself, having spent a good deal of time in Colorado. So he's using the spring clamps just to temporarily hold it in place. A lot of people use that style of clamps for the kerfing, just to do all the kerfing. I'm a little crazy like this, but I like to just use those to temporarily hold it, and then I put on these clamps, which I just find give it a much better, more gap-free hold. So all of this is to say, if you're getting gaps in your kerfing, if it's not as good as you hoped it would be, you can try something like what I've done here. But if you're not getting gaps with the clothespins or with those other clamps I just showed, then that's great, and you should keep using those. But this is what I find works best. Alright, let's take a look at that. Beautiful. Nice work, William.
Thanks.
Alright, so that's all for now. See you guys later.
If you learned something here, please give this video a like and subscribe so you can be notified when I release a new DIY guitar making video. And if you want to really learn more, take one of my structured online courses at ericschaferguitars.com or register for a hands-on guitar building workshop here with me in Burnville, Pennsylvania.